Hey everybody, Steven here playing Subnautica Below Zero, and today we're covering the latest updates to the game. And then I'm actually going to check out the Fabro site towards the end here so we can look at a couple different things on there. I think the dev team is about to enter lockdown potentially, which is what they do right before they release the next early access. So I think we're right on the cusp of that actually happening. Just seems like they've slowed things down a little bit with the updates. I don't know that for sure. It's my kind of hinting suspicion here that that's the thing that's going to happen. So with the intro, we're going to look at the intro again. They did a tweak where it made it extremely dark in the hangar. They've fixed that. I didn't actually showcase when it was really, really dark, but they fixed that. And then I think it's the moon and another planet, or they're both moons. Those have actually been changed so they're not as prominent. It's like they have kind of that shadow cast on them. And then there's two Vespers right now. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if it's just them tinkering around with trying to reposition it, but there's two of them that you'll actually see with this. You also are going to see when I hit the OK button, the like a force field thing right in the hangar, it's gonna not be there, and then it'll pop in really quick. So hopefully they fix that here pretty soon. And then once we actually crash land, we're gonna see something immediately change with the cold meter, which is pretty cool. It's a nice little touch to it. Alright, here we go. See it? There it goes. Alright, you can see the planets are a little bit different also. See how they're not, like I said, as prominent? Of the moon, sorry. And then look at two Vespers. They've also changed the glow of the planet, which is awesome. I'm waiting for that where you hear it, but where you actually go through the atmosphere right there. The visual component of that. I did see on, I can't remember if it was a comment or it was a post on Twitter. Somebody said that they actually have the original voice actress back, by the way. I don't know if that's for sure. I know a lot of people want her back. I think they'll listen. But I think for the next bit of voice acting, we may have her back. Fingers crossed on that. Alright, so Alright, so notice with the cold meter, it actually has like snowflakes in it, which is really, really cool. And then with this too, you still have in the bottom corner there, it actually shows your oxygen supply as well. That wasn't there. And then it does the same thing. There we go. So once you heat up, it goes away. But once you're back in cold and it clicks in, you'll start to see those snowflakes reappear. Alright. There is a lot I want to cover. So at the Rocket Island here, that's the first time I've done the go-to where it's actually clicked that in at the same time. I think this is new, the audio with this. I've also never noticed a ladder on the side of it. So like I said, I think that's actually new right there. Both the audio and that ladder right there. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, so once we're at the Rocket Island here, you actually have the data box for the scanner room here now. And then volume's loud. Then so you can scan the observatory, which I don't know how long that's been in game. I can't remember if that's new. I want to say that's actually been in game, but I also want to say it's new. But supposedly you're supposed to be able to scan this window. And I don't know if it's just a bug going on right now, but I cannot. So right now I can't scan that, unfortunately, but that's supposed to be in game, so maybe it works for you guys. And this path I've never noticed before. Same thing, it may have been here, I just haven't noticed it. It doesn't go into anything special unless you want to jump down there. So nothing up here or anything like that, but just something I noticed. It's not an area I come often to just hang out by the observatory there. So we have that, and I'm going to cue in this next part because I think it's really, really cool. It's called a hold on. What is it? Recyclotron? Yeah, Recyclotron. I gotta grab my place. Hopefully I do this right. There it is. For anybody that watches The Office, my first thought was Dwight when he does his, I think it's Recyclops. Alright, so check this out. Let's go. Notice I'm doing item and not spawn. I'm finally remembering to do that. A lot of people comment like, hey, you can just do that. And I always forget, so I'm trying to make a point to actually remember to do that now. So take this, put it in, let's exit, grab this again, maybe it takes a minute. There it is, check that out. So that, whoa, I guess it stayed in there too long, it redid it. So what this does, and this is just obviously the trash can from the first game, this is just a placeholder. So this is a precursor technology or architect technology where it will take whatever you put in it and it'll reduce it down to basically its smallest components. So I put the builder in, then you saw the wiring kit and the battery and all that, and then it like takes that and then it strips those down even further. I thought that was pretty cool. So that is a new item here. I only found out about that, by the way, by going to the Fabro site. I don't remember reading about it on the Subnautica Changes Twitter account, but I start scrolling through that stuff, and it's it can be a lot to keep up with when they're updating quite regularly. Okay, so a bunch of other stuff to cover here. Somebody was asking if there have been any changes to the big tree spire biome. Haven't covered it in a while just because nothing honestly has really changed, but they've actually tweaked this right here. So they've opened this up a little bit where we have kind of that trench that leads over to the mining side entrance right there. They've pushed all this back and they've added some more shelves to it. Looks really, really cool. We still don't have anything in this area here, which I really think it's just going to be a precursor or an architect artifact here. We'll see on that one. So they have pushed this back. We have more kind of grooves and cuts in it. We have more plateaus to it. And then we have this here kind of blending in, which they've had that. It's had a little bit more work to it. Nothing down here that I've seen, but going over to the side here, they've pushed this back a little bit. So it's a little bit further back. And I'm wondering, there it goes. I'm wondering what we're going to see here if we don't see either this keeps going back and really this biome starts to kind of overtake to this and then it blends in that way, or we see kind of what we have right here with the tree spires. Those aren't the tree spires. Thermal spires. Too many spires. I think we'll have it kind of basically looks like this. We may have something like this similar over there, but we'll see. And then the edge over here, I've noticed they've done a little bit of work with this as well. Now, these aren't immediate updates with some of these. Some of these may have been in game for a minute. I just haven't noticed them. So it does seem like we have a little bit of work here. Just kind of the layout that they have. It used to be more of a wall. It kind of seems like it's been pushed back, and We have more nooks and crannies and grooves in it here. This hasn't changed much. We'll see, well, and you'll see where they've done work because it literally pushes back to something like this. But where I've noticed the difference is they've pushed this even further in, brought this section out. So this has been changed as well. And then it goes to that kind of classic Subnautica drop-off for the map there. They've added this little plateau area, pushed this back. Hopefully this loads in. And it seems like they've actually pulled this in just a little bit tighter now too. And we'll see another like plateau area right here. There we go. And then it just kind of melds itself back to, and this is kind of all the same over here for right now. Well, let's see what we got here.
Oxygen efficiency decreased. Passing 200 meters.
Just a resource, so kind of still the same. That's been in game for a while now. Then got one more, or actually, sorry, let's go down because there was a big thing in that I almost forgot. They have cut off. Oh, well, those are like floating out here. Look at that. Wait. Ooh. Is this just hanging out underground? Yeah. So let's go down to the fabricator caverns here. They have removed the tunnel exiting from this. And if this looks a little bit weird, by the way, I have the field of view set all the way up. I think it's 90 degrees right now, just so I could see. I was messing with it and just left it like that. But we have this wall here. Now, you used to be able to get out. You go through this. Now there is another wall. So they've actually disconnected this. This was going to, what, the hover bike zone 3 here. So that is gone. Not 100% sure what that means for this, if it means they're going to rework it or they're just scrapping it. Because this was kind of the exit for the end game with the first story, but since it's been rewritten, I have no idea what they're going to do. They've kind of done this, but they have filled this back in so you can't see that it's just an open area right now. So we have that. And then we're going to go over to the Glacial Basin. We're going to look at two things, and then we're going to check out the Fabro site here. So the first thing, and it's just two minor details, and it may have been in game, and it's one of those things I just didn't notice. So right here, we got ourselves a spy penguin. They've changed the model too. I like that, because that's the old kind of broken down one here, right? And then immediately we have an opening here to go inside. Still needs work. Let's see. Alright, it's kind of basic in here. So we have that. Go to the other side. And I'll take that back off. I just want to see what that was going to look like without it. And right... where was it? Oh, underneath this. Right here. I didn't realize with this kind of frozen waterfall here we had an opening. Same thing. This may have been in game for a little bit. Just didn't notice it. And we can go inside here. So that looks pretty cool. I like all the little hidden areas. We got ourselves some baby snow stalkers here. And what is up here? Oh, another little area for the spy penguin. Nice. So yeah, this thing is turning into a maze here. Lots of little areas to go to. So that is going to wrap it up for this portion. Did they update this again? I think I covered this in the last video. I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, so that's going to cover it for this portion of the video. I still need to spend a lot of time in this biome to check on everything, but let's go ahead and cut over to the Favreau website right now. Alright, so I want to put a link for this, guys. You guys can go search through all this stuff. There is a lot here. I've minimized playtesting. That's just talking about bugs. We have our project roadmap here. So EA9, April 2020. We have new story, first draft, new intro, quantum locker, snowballs, water purification tablets. I still haven't spawned those. I need to do video on that. We have the Glacial Bay, Glacial Basin 2.0, ore veins, Recyclotron, that thing I spawned, and then these snow stalkers on nav mesh, their navigation meshes there. So we have all of that. Console roadmap. Everybody's been asking about this. This doesn't actually show anything when it comes to these tasks, so I can't tell you about any info with it other than they're trying to release this at the same time as they do with the PC. So fingers crossed. They have said if that doesn't quite line up, it would be shortly after. Release 1.0 dev board here. So Recyclotron here. The different things. So obviously looking at the checkboxes here, they've really just added the prototype prefab based on the trash can. Then after, these are the things that they need to add to that. One of the obvious things is going to be a final art pass. Possibly just a precursor reskin of the trash can. We'll see about that. So we have these things that they're doing, these things that are done. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Surface 2.0 MasterCard. A lot of things that we've seen. Move the Glacial Bait. They have all these checklist things that they've done here. Art polish that they're working on. Frozen creature. New ice model. New crystal models. Add shadow volume right there. Do a lighting pass. Add in rock collapse for story. That's very interesting. There's a lot just for this right here. Surface scans. Iceworm scan. Boneyard bones. New trees. That one I'm interested in. New coastal props. Fixed draw distance. That's awesome. This one. Surface bases need to be built at a lower height. Some of this stuff is interesting. This is where I'm going to let you guys kind of read through all of this because there is a lot of this. Create strength mod for the Snow Fox. Where is the one I was looking for? Arctic Spires. Here it is. Add Boneyard to Arctic Spires. So that would be one of the things, because right now it's so bare bones out there. Add teleporter for Arctic Spires to Glacial Basin. Additional routes, more cave sections, that'll be nice. They have different things to place in there. Adjust cave lighting for filmic. Figure out alternate power source for bases other than solar. That one's interesting. Have more weather safe zones in northern Arctic Spires, because if you're out too long you'll freeze to death. Even with the cold suit, that just lowers how quick, or slows down how quick you actually get cold and then eventually freeze to death. So we have this right here. So I was excited to see this because it has been very bare bones for quite some time now. So we have that right there. Questions to answer. Where is that at? Right here. This one is another one that's very interesting. Which is discovered first? Sanctuary or Outpost Zero? Outpost Zero or Glacial Basin Base? Glacial Basin Base or Sanctuary? Crash ship or mining site? Where are people finding silver? Are they struggling with recipes that require silver? So they have all these little things, tech unlock and instructions. So these things that they're doing here that are feeding into the structure of the story. So I thought that was pretty interesting to see here with what you're going to find first in regards to that. Because the first thing that she talks about is using that picture to go find her sister, right? That little map that she drew. Let's see. Sam Doodle, that was what I was just talking about right there. They've done a lot of things right here. A lot of these I've actually covered. Actually, after I looked through this, a lot of these I've just showed with the, we have the Mark III encounter, Mark II cinematic. Now the big thing is getting the audio hooked up. One of the big things that they talk about with all of this is connecting all of these things to make it a story that actually flows together, because right now it doesn't. Right there, 1.0 release. And then this is actually for EA 10, which I believe is their 1.0 release here. So they have a lot of stuff to do, and this is all in alpha right now, by the way. Mesh optimizations, they got a lot of different things in here. Like I said, I'm going to let you guys search through all of this stuff. And then let's actually skip down to the audio here. Audio board. Audio music. Timing of new crash landing track. I'm excited about this one. So I have swapped the new music track into the existing music event. Ben made a video to explain the new timing on this track. Should play shortly after the button to activate the shuttle is pressed at the start. More info in music channel. So for those that know, Ben is the guy that does the music here, right? So Ben Prunty, if I'm pronouncing that correct, but he's the guy that's doing the music with the game right now. So cool to see that, because that's one of those, every time I've played I was like, something's missing. Like something iconic is missing, right? And it's the music. So looking at this, we have a lot of different audio that they are currently doing. Some of this is marked as done 3 hours ago, right? New audio for Marg cutscene 2, so I'm hoping we get to see that here. The good news is I mean, anybody that is playing in the experimental build, we're going to have access to this pretty early. So the second they put that in game, I'm going to actually highlight all of that for you guys. But hopefully we see that this week. And with this stuff showing up over here and all these tasks you get to watch them get complete, it just means we're getting very, very close to having all of this for EA 9, and then hopefully moving on to that 1.0 release here. I don't see when it comes to this though. Some of this is, by the way, is just they need to hook it up. Some of it needs to be recorded. I don't see them listing like who's going to be the audio for Robin with any of this. So like I said, somebody told me that they have her back, but I don't know for sure with that. But like I said, I'm going to put a link for this. You guys get to look through all of this here. There is a lot to cover. That's all done stuff. You don't really need to look at that. Concept art and then merge requests with this as well. Last thing I will finish on, if I can find it, animation tasks, Skyray. Behavior design, rig, animation, implementation, place and world. So behavior design, where is it? Or is it rig? Here it is. Animations. Basic animation, idles, slow movements, things like that. They just kind of float around with this. This doesn't have a done check mark on it, so I'm thinking this is something that they're working on here. A lot of cool notes. I was really, really hoping this was actually for the kite wing. I've been informed that it's been cut, but this still kind of made me hopeful that maybe that's not the case. But it kind of looks like it is. But let me know what you guys think. I really, like I said, I really, really hope they add that. The Glacial Basin just needs something else added to it in terms of a creature, in my opinion. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all of my content, hit the subscribe button for me. Thanks so much for watching.